Hi, this is my tutorial on how to make a biscuit quilt or a poof quilt. First I decide how I want it. I'm going to do 8 biscuits this way by 11 biscuits this way, and it's going to be rainbow, so I'm going to make these 2 red, these 3 orange and yellow, green, blue, and purple. And what you do is you get, for the one that I'm making, this one here, you're going to need 88 squares. So we're going to get 88 squares that are this size. They are 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. And then you just go through your scraps. You can see I have a whole bunch of different scraps here. And you make all of these, you cut them into a 6 inch by 6 inch square. Alright, in order to make the biscuits of the quilt, you take a 4.5 inch square, which is the smaller one here, and you take this larger 6 inch square, and you put them both together like this, and you match up one corner. And then you pin it at the corner. And then you match the next corner. So there'll be a big gap in between, see, like this, but that's okay. Match the other corner and pin it. And with this big gap in the middle, you're going to kind of work your way like this. See, like that? And then you kind of pinch it together and then fold it over like this and then pin it. And then you go to the next corner. Match these 2 corners, pin it, find the center more or less, there we go, fold it over, pin it, and then pin that last corner right there. And then work your way, trying to make sure that all the edges are matched up, because if they're not matched up, when you sew it along here, it'll make it won't catch this one part and it'll be a mess. And then pin it. And then we leave this last bit open here so that we can put the stuffing in later. And then after it's stuffed, we're going to close it and pin it as well after it's stuffed. Let me show you with one more. Let's see. Here's a fun piece. So we match up the corners up here. Pin it. Match up these corners over here. Pin it. You work the fabric to the center. Kind of pinch it there and then fold it over. Let's make it a little cleaner. Pin it right there on the edge. Another corner. Pin the corner. Work our way to the center. Fold it over. Pin it. And then that last corner, match it up. Match up a little better than that. Let's see. Follow your sides in. Pinch it over. Pin it. And do all 88 of your squares like this. So we've got this one, and then we've got this one here. Let me finish the rest, and we'll sew them. All right, when you sew these biscuits that you have made here, all you have to do is just sew along where you've got the pins, only on the 3 sides, leaving that 4th side open. I like to leave not much of a, I don't know, what is that? Half an inch? Sew all 3 sides, and then when you get to the end of one, go ahead and start the next one right after the first one. It'll save a cut and whatever. So all the way around the 3 sides, like that. Alright, now go ahead and do that on all 88 of your squares. Alright, after you get the 3 sides sewn on all of these little poof pockets, they're going to be in a long string, just clip them apart, and then you take some fluff, whatever this is called, stuffing, and then you stuff it inside here. Try and make sure that you get them all pretty much the same so that your quilt will be uniform. Then you take one side and just do what you just did earlier with the other 3 sides. One side here, pinch it, and then pin it. And then there you have it. And then we'll do another one here. Get your pocket open, get some fluff, stuff it in there, put on in there, and then you find your center. Let's see if I can, alright, pinch it, fold it, pin it. And we'll be back right here. Are all the poofs that I have finished pinning right here, the top, the pin here, and all of them. And after they're all done, then kind of in the way here, go ahead and sew them all like so. Sometimes you might need to mash down on the stuffing so that it sews a straight line through the or across the poof, or the biscuit, or the bubble, or whatever you want to call it. And you just see how you just link them together like that to save from having to cut the thread each time. Alright, and then when you're done with them, we'll show you the next step. Alright, and then when you're done sewing all of these poofs, you'll have a huge pile, a huge long line, and then just go ahead and snip them apart. Alright, now that you have them all cut, you kind of want to organize them however you want them, and I was going to do a rainbow quilt, so I'm going to do red on one side, and I'm going to work my way across. Oh, there's a blue one, that one will go over here, that's more of a yellow, and I would just put them how I want them. And the orange. Alright, so this is basically how I have it set out. I got 2 reds, an orange, 1.5 oranges, this yellow, green, blue, purple. I had 3 of blue because I had a lot of blue. And my plan was to do 11, but I got carried away, and so I've got 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 by 8. What you do then is you take your first row, and you go and sew them together. Together we put poof next to poof. I guess you can pin it if you want, but I don't think it really matters. I'll pin it just for sake of holding things together. This one. And then we'll kind of squish it, and then we'll sew it as we squish. Whoops. There we go. And then just follow that same seam that you already sewed the first time. Just follow that and sew it on the same line. And then just do that with all of your little poofs. Match this side. I guess I could have done that earlier. Match this side. Make sure all stays together, because if it comes apart, you'll have holes in your blanket. Push that poof down as you go. Pin out if they're still in line. And so when you sew them all together, you've got a long row of 8 poofs sewn together. Do that with each of your rows. Now I will say, it doesn't really, unless you really care, it doesn't really matter what order they're sewn. I don't care what order they're sewn in, as long as we get the long ones in the correct way. But I'm gonna go sew the rest of them and be back in a moment. Alright, so we sewn together all of these 8 biscuit lengths or whatever. And now what we have to do is we have to sew these together, and then sew these together, and then sew these together, etc, etc, etc. So now let's do that. I went ahead and I pinned, I tried to match up all the crosses here, and I went ahead and pinned all those, and then I pinned the rest, and now it's time to sew. Go ahead and sew the whole length of this. Alright, after you sew these 2 together, it looks like something like this. And when you get through sewing all of them together in 2s, then you've got to sew these 2 together, pin the sides, and then sew these 2 together. And you get something that looks like this. And then when you get this done, you'll pin the sides here, and then sew these 2 together, and then sew all 3 together. And I'll show you what that looks like. And here is the final, all the biscuits sewn together. The back, you can see it just, anyway, all you have to do now is just finish it, put the backing on, and then put your binding on, and then you're done.